The child is still alive inside us. We feel that child whenever we overreact to what is happening around us as adults, or whenever we feel a deep longing or a creative input that feels like it's coming from nowhere. And it's not just imaginary, it's based on our development. It's like as if whenever we feel something that really is too painful for the reality of the situation, or too angering, too upsetting for the reality of the situation. Let's just make an example. Your boss gives you a look like this, and you feel suddenly such a depth of anger or such a depth of betrayal that is not justified by what is happening. That's the child. And at the same time, whenever you feel transported by art or by beauty or by the mystery of existence, it's again the child. The child doesn't die inside us, it gets covered by layers and layers of nurturing, education and conditioning. What is interesting is that in the first years of our life, we function from the right side of our brain, which is operating by association and operating through intuition. It's emotional intelligence. Then later on, when we go to school, we start becoming logical and we get our own map of the world and an orientation in society. But in the first 5-6 years, we feel things very, very strongly, and we feel the world and we feel it through what happens to us. That's why later on, by association, just from that part of the brain, we overreact to a situation that reminds us of our childhood. Why this happens? It's just because the feelings that we had at that time are not complete, were not expressed, were not transformed. And emotional energy is just like any energy in the world. It doesn't disappear, it doesn't dissolve, it needs to be transformed. So whenever we are feeling really, really upset about something, either angry or sad or isolated or betrayed, it's worth taking a moment and stopping and listening. Listen to the child inside, which is telling us about something that happened before that is not complete. And in the same way, whenever we have a longing, whenever we want more space for our creative expression, it's again the child inside us that wants to touch again that magical world that it was living in. To be a true, real adult is being able to take care of that child, to listen to that child, to understand where our overreactions come from, to soothe the pain of the child, and to take care that that child has enough space to live its potential, to live its creativity, to live what it was meant to live in this world, to unfold as a creative, inspired being. So the child is both. The child is the pain that lives in us that has not been transformed or listened to, and it's also the great inspiration to live a life full of beauty, love, creativity, adventure. So meeting the child inside us means reconnecting with something that is buried and forgotten, but very active still today inside us. It means taking responsibility for what is unfinished and finding ways to express it, to solve it, and to nourish that part that has remained undernourished in us. Just become a true adult. Take care of your child.